Hello, hello, hello. We are now live. Welcome. Welcome back.
Stay low, boys. We're no one worth noticing.
Lay low, boys, or no one with noticing. What's up?
Huh?
What's up, boys? I don't know who we're acknowledging. What's up?
Sup, future us? Because we're the only ones watching fucking videos.
I was on my way to the podcast to hang out with that and record this podcast, and so I think before I say this, I drive an old car, and my old car has a lot of issues, and one of the issues is that it's not able to read the gas gauge, and because of that, not only did I run out of gas, but Adam, the oh so kind human that he is, came and saved me and got me my gas. And this is a usual occurrence. And when I was sitting there waiting for you, Jesus, anyways, in an undisclosed podcast location. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, when I was sitting there waiting, I was thinking about it. I'm like, we're gonna talk about those times when my car would run out of gas and that you'd have to come and pick me up, or like the fucking whatever happened, like it overheat. Wait, did you ever pick me up for my car overheating?
No, it's always been gas.
Oh, but sometimes that happens. Anyways, so we got a joint, a tiny one that we're gonna light up. Do you got an ashtray, or we're gonna ashtray here? Ashtray. Like this. What? But you know what I mean, like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll start with that, and then maybe we'll go into our discussion of Mule.
That's the best way to do it. So what are we starting with?
No, let's just like this first. And just see what happens. That's what we're doing today.
What are we doing?
No, what are you?
I tried to get some work done on that cityscape I showed you yesterday, but my height was not in it. I might move on to a smaller project.
Oh, fuck, I always do that. Yeah, my mother, so I guess I can talk, I think it's a good thing to talk about. In high school, she was diagnosed with cancer. And they put a port in her.
In our high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, so they put a port in her so that she can get, what is it called for people with chemo?
Mm-hmm.
And they said they could, oh, fuck. I got it. They said, that, what the fuck was I saying? That, she has to keep the port in her, where they add the chemo, until she's, like, completely, like cancer, like, it's not relapsing.
Mm-hmm.
They found out it's not relapsing, so they removed her port today. So,
is that where you were?
Yeah. So that's a good thing.
Well, happy your mom's healthy.
Yeah, basically. And I had my pen, so I went out. I was just sitting there, had Chick-fil-A, and I'm like, fuck, what can I do right now? And I'm like, fuck, let me go smoke. So I went to the outside, and I just smoked and got high. I go too early, you grab too late. Yeah, and it's kind of fun. Anyways, so I think we should slowly transition into our meal discussion.
Yeah. I'm trying to slowly but surely change my lifestyle until I'm healthier, I guess. But I know just working out doesn't really do much. You have to actually eat well for it too. So that's been my problem so far. Even before I get to the committing to the gym part, is that I need to start eating healthier or I'm not going to see any results. So, take a quick puff. I think I tried a couple things. What did I try last time? I went to... Oh, I did the chicken.
Oh, yeah.
I cooked like 6 chicken breasts, breaded them, and then saved them. Fancy.
You like that? I didn't expect it to have it. Did it look nice? Sorry, I just did a smoke trick by accident. You lizard. Oh, 3. No, that's it. Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I can't do it while I'm laughing.
I said 10. Anyways, I just did a smoke trick, and then he just outdid me.
How'd you do the thing?
I just let it out and I read it in.
Oh.
Oh.
I think every time I've tried to do it, I tried to do it alone, so I have no idea if it actually... Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just let it go out and then just...
Do you blow it all or just open your mouth?
No, I just open my mouth, kind of move my tongue like that. And then I... Sorry. And then I kind of just... No. Why should I go? See, it has to be milky, that's why.
Fuck.
What I'm saying here, no, try it, watch. Breathe it in, like a cigar, and then go like that right away while it's milky. Right now. No, you breathed in. But you're supposed to do it like before you breathe in, you know what I mean? And while it's milky.
I know you can do it while it's in your... If you breathe it in first. So I remember when I was doing all that research trying to figure out...
How to do it.
Well, how to keep my weed or use my weed effectively. One of the guys was talking about, or showing, he like breathes it in, puffs it out, breathes that in, puffs it out, breathes that in. He just keeps hitting the thing.
Anyways, back to the transition what we were talking about. So you just want to talk about how you want to eat healthy? Did you not get hit? Oh.
What was the question?
Were you just talking about wanting to eat healthy or what?
Yeah. Yeah, we got on a whole sidetrack because of that, didn't we?
Dude, we can't smoke and talk.
We barely smoke this. It's just us being dumb.
Keep going.
What you call it? So, I got the 6 chicken breasts, and then
It's the filter, yeah.
I got the 6 chicken breasts, cooked them, breaded them. I said that like 3 times.
Yeah.
But after like the first one, I realized how like the fear of salmonella was definitely there because I did not have a device where you can poke it in.
Yeah.
And it'll measure it. And it's some of it says that like pink isn't really a very good something to give it away.
Marker indicator.
Yeah, it's not a very good indicator of whether it's cooked through, because when you freeze meat and it's next to bone, a lot of times it turns purplish.
Oh.
So yeah, there was that part, and then there was like red veins in there, and I'm just not used to my chicken looking like I fucking carved it up on a table outside. So I ate like 3 of those, and I think I just tossed the rest.
How many did you have?
6, I think.
I guess. Yeah, and I guess speaking on that, I think the meditation isn't working. And I think we should talk about basically December. How's your December? No meditation?
Not a single minute.
Are you gonna literally do 20 hours of meditation or whatever?
I'm probably just not
200
gonna do
minutes?
it. I don't really care much about meditation, so it doesn't really work as a challenge.
What's the challenge is that you don't care about it?
Well, then why would I do it?
To force yourself to do something for 30 days straight? Because there's
I'd rather force myself to do something productive.
that is forcing yourself to do something productive.
Not really.
I guess, but what else are you doing compared to not doing that?
I could do 30 days without fast food. That would be something I would.
Okay, fine, but I don't know. Anyways,
Like 30 days of doing art.
my meditation, I guess I just, it's not clicking with it. I'm just not kind of, I've done it for the last almost every single day. I think I missed one or two. But yeah, and I just didn't click with me, and I'm not really enjoying it. And I don't feel like any progress is being made. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably just gonna stop, or like just not really. Probably after this month, just not do it. But it's not really important to me at all. And then on top of that, what was I saying? Oh yeah, on top of that, just to talk about my other stuff, I managed to keep doing the other things I haven't, so that's good.
Are you doing yoga still?
No, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that I haven't done yoga, and I feel like I feel so stupid to say this, but I feel like my life's imbalanced. You know what I mean? And I haven't done it for like 2 weeks, so I should probably do that.
Yeah, probably. Day of yoga. Yeah, how much did you do? Like 30 minutes a day?
An hour a day. Oh yeah, 30 minutes to an hour.
God, an hour would be.
It wasn't that hard. I don't know why you think it's so hard.
I don't think it's hard. I just don't want to take the time out of my day to do it.
It's not. That's why it's like, it's only an hour.
I can do probably a half hour, but I couldn't do an hour every day.
Anyways, so haven't done your yoga. That's sick. Seems like I'm the only one committing. You gonna try to do something next month?
Maybe. I might do 30 days of art.
Should we talk about that, or should we go on to the movie? Remember I told you about the movie or the script that I want to write next month?
Let's continue with this because movie, we're not going to forget about that.
Okay. Sheer panic is ensuing in my head. I don't know how to feel.
Why?
Because I don't know. She's right there.
We're fine. She's not paying attention to us in the slightest. It's out.
What I meant to say is we're in an undisclosed location. Oh yeah, and I was thinking like when we get the fucking office, I think I'm totally gonna make videos, and I'm thinking about doing political videos because I'm just thinking about that so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to learn to be funny.
Anyways, I think you're funny.
I get the feeling that you like my mannerisms more than my actual jokes.
But I think that's what you can make funny about you.
It's just my mannerisms.
Is that no? Yeah, exactly. You as a person, as a personality.
Yes.
Because there's like a reason why I find this shit funny. Like you do shit that's funny sometimes. Anyways, so what? You want to do 30 days of art?
30 days where I sit down and do something arty, like painting or something like that.
Would you you require yourself to sit down and do a time, or just require yourself to sit down and do something?
Just do something. I don't have to finish it. I don't have to do it for a certain amount of time. Just sit down and start something.
That's what I was going to do. But I was going to do no internet 3 hours a day. Minimum is that I was going to dedicate myself to focusing on strictly writing. And I would basically have to write out the story in every direction it could, basically, every 3 hours, or every day for 3 hours.
Ooh. For your script.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
had,
we talk about that.
like the first, like earlier in the day, I was thinking about something because you said, for some reason I was thinking about the line you said where limitations breed creativity.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, well, what's the limitations of our situation right now? Money and actors. So I was thinking like, if we got one good actor, someone that actually knows how to act, and then the rest of them are just fucking the cheesiest shit we can possibly go, and the actor's wondering why everyone in his life is suddenly fucking weird or acting weird.
Well, why?
Because then you only need one good actor, and then just a bunch of your friends.
Yeah, you're right. And I think it's important while writing scripts to think about that. But what I told you specifically last night is that I want to write something where I'm not limited. Because I think the best way to write is to put yourself on a limitation cap like that. You know what I mean? But I think I've been writing so much with that limitation cap that I just want to write something where I can get really, really detailed. You know what I mean? Where I can really create a world. And that's why I told you I want to do a zombie apocalypse or a sci-fi. Go. You know what I mean? So I don't want any limitations. I just kind of want to sit down freely, write for 3 hours a day.
Yeah, if you write with limitations all the time, I'd say mix it up, yeah. But would you still limit yourself on, like, how long it can be?
It would have to be a feature film, so at least 2 hours, or at least an hour. But I would want to shoot for 2 hours. No, I'm done. It's pretty much ash and paper.
It's stuck to my finger as I let go of it.
Oh my god. This is gonna be the perfect way. We're gonna like end up not talking, you know what I mean? This is the perfect way to end the podcast.
We're talking scripts.
So no, yeah, I just want a general idea a very open idea that won't limit me. That'll give me a lot of creative freedom. That's why now I'm thinking about it, I'm pulling towards sci-fi. if I just sit there and write a sci-fi script, you kind of can't. You can go any direction with a sci-fi.
Well, like, the weird part about sci-fi is it seems like it's mostly visual, unless you're doing like a political thing, like or like a political kind of shit, like Star Trek kind of was, where it's about
Yeah.
fostering diplomat between like aliens and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
But like most sci-fi movies, you could just slot those into a suburban setting and they'd work. It's just
They're, yeah.
sci-fi is all the style and
Yeah.
like stuff behind it.
Yeah, but I like that. Because then
I forgot what the point was. I just figured.
Oh, well, I just like that because then if you have a floating object, you don't really need to explain why it's floating. You know what I mean? If everything else around them is fucking weird, then the floating cup isn't gonna, like, change the viewers. Like, they're not gonna question it too much. You know what I mean? In Star Wars, when you see all the aliens and the inner spaceships and stuff like that, and the Jedi, when they start moving shit, it's not that weird. You're like, oh yeah, they're Jedi. That kind of makes sense.
Well, just in a movie sense, magic powers isn't really.
Well, that's insane. If in realistic settings, I haven't done. I'm not. You can't do stuff like that, and I haven't written anything like that. I'm allowed such creative freedom. And I told you that I wanted it about the polarizing political landscape. But I don't think so. I think I should just leave it open, because then I could just write, you know what I mean?
It's a political like a political.
That's what I want to do with our current political landscape. Like, show that, like,
oh, do like a sort of subtext kind of.
Yeah. Show that there's, like, these not radical, but, like, super, like, yeah, basically radical left, or just radical people on the left, or just radical people in general against something that seems, but you know what I mean? I just want that. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I need your help.
I mean, it depends on how sci-fi you go, I guess. Because it'd have to be like a similar. The only thing that's like required is like a government that's sort of similar to ours, with sort of similar leaders.
No, because I was thinking of just abolishing it completely and creating a whole new system of government. You know what I mean? And just use it in the context of, wow, this seems completely ridiculous, but if you just replace their president's name with our president and replace that radical party with the leftist party, it'll just kind of make sense. You know what I mean?
I guess. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's too hard to write about every single day for 3 hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking that I shouldn't do that, and then just keep it to either like sci-fi or zombie or post-apocalypse. Because I think zombie apocalypse is, everyone does zombie apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Like that was milked enough.
If you're gonna do zombie apocalypse, you gotta do something sort of left field-ish, like a love story or a love romance in a fucking zombie.
No, that's not even left field. Left field is like.
But there's like one movie about romance in the zombie wasteland.
I guess, but fucking what's it called? Had love romance all the time.
What?
Walking Dead.
That's not really romance.
But they had a bunch of romance within the show.
Yeah, characters fuck, but it's like a drama.
Yeah, and like romance isn't drama.
Not really. Romance is like romantic comedies where a guy gets a girl, fucks up, loses a girl, does heartwarming thing, gets girl again.
Is that not like what a drama is?
No, dramas are more like they'll have like romantic.
We're talking about like melodramas, right?
No, not really like melodramas. Like normal, like CBS 10 o'clock garbage that isn't a fucking comedy like Big Bang.
Yeah.
Like that whole sort of dynamic where somebody does something to upset everyone else, they work through it and it's finished, and then they go on to the next thing or next episode and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing, I'd call that a drama. And then a romantic film would be, it's about this relationship and what Rocky things went through it.
Yeah.
Until he presumably
Wins the girl.
Yeah, well, he wins the girl back, and then it fades to black on a good note to say, "Oh, the troubles are gone." Yeah, I'd call it a romance.
What was I saying?
The original thing we were talking about was zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah. So what should I do? You still haven't. I'm asking for your help.
Oh, for zombie apocalypse or sci-fi?
No. What should I write about?
What kind of story you want to write?
That's what I said. I don't care. I need your help to find that out. I don't know.
What do you usually do? Like action?
Oh yeah, like action. Like either. I guess you could say like suspense and like
do a documentary on a sci-fi universe.
Wait, listen, what the fuck? That seems ridiculous. Okay, I usually do like Quentin Tarantino films like that. I like that stuff.
Okay, like Kill Bill.
And like mystery killers, yeah.
Okay. No, like a documentary of a sci-fi space.
Yeah, it seems absolutely ridiculous.
Why?
So you're gonna make a fictional story in which there's a documentary? Yeah, it's a comedy, but I don't want to do that. That's not something I'm interested in.
It doesn't have to be a comedy.
Well, okay, how would you do that with it being serious?
You could write about.
Well, no one's gonna take you seriously.
Some figure that's like he grouped up the whole world and they went against some threat. And now this is a documentary on that man in his twilight years. And they're talking about, in the way the documentaries usually are, like inherently just describes the world around them. So you're basically writing about the universe, but it's a documentary about this guy.
No, what I was thinking though is, have you watched Werner Herzog movies? Okay, you have to watch it. I think that's what you need to watch next. Godin even liked it. Like, it's that fucking good. So, how do I say? He's my favorite filmmaker because he's so, how do I say it? Like, I don't care what you're saying. Does that make sense?
Mm.
And he's so, I don't care what you're saying, that he, like, blatantly tells you people. Remember in the first podcast, you're like, oh, I love that. In the beginning, that's him. Where he's like, nature isn't beautiful, it's vile. He's like, I see asphyxiation, I see rape, I see in nature, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the type of person he is, you know what I mean? And so he makes these brilliant films, right? They're technically documentaries, but they're fake. Like, they're, how do I say this? I guess some of the documentaries are based in truth, but most of it is like Blair Witch Project, just like that.
Mm.
But it's not scary. He's done a bunch of different subjects. Like, one was about these kids who murdered. There were 2 teenage kids, and they murdered this other teenager when they were young, and they're on death row. And they're just talking about the scenario. they're just interviewing other police who are actors. You know what I mean? They interview the guys who are actors. You know what I mean? They interview their parents and family and stuff like that who are actors, and he just fabricates this story. So what I'm thinking, maybe that sounds kind of fun, is to make a Werner Herzog inspired sci-fi documentary, you know, like what you're saying basically, in which I'm interviewing this guy who like saved the universe or something like that. Like that's why I don't have an idea yet, but it's like he saved the universe, and it's like that's the whole interview, and I'm explaining like what he did while I don't know how to tell the story. I'd probably have to watch a bunch of his movies to understand how to tell the story. But I'll just fabricate this whole sci-fi documentary story. You know what I mean?
That sounds exactly like what I was saying.
Okay. Well, then you need to watch Werner Herzog because he's absolutely brilliant, and I love his movies. Because this is I think I should talk about this because this is something that people should know. So he made a movie called, I forgot what it's called. I knew the name because I wanted to watch it. In which, in the film, I think there's a filmmaker, or there's this guy who's trying to get a boat across a piece of land because there's two pieces of land, bodies of water, and he needs to get the boat across. And that's the whole purpose of the story, and how he's using the local Indians, and how that's what I never watched it, and that's why I wanted to watch it. Then he made a documentary, because in what they actually did is they actually moved the whole fucking boat like across a land into another body of water. You know what I mean? And he hired a bunch of people from South America and stuff like that, and they helped him like tear down the forest and move this boat by hand. And then while doing that, he was filming a movie. You know what I mean? And he was losing money while doing this, and he just kept doing it. And I don't know. That's why I never watched the documentary and I never watched the movie. But that's where that one clip comes from. Is that he just someone else said their opinion about nature, and then he's about to say his opinion about nature, and it's just showing clips of part of the documentary. And yeah, he says it. He's a brilliant filmmaker, and he's kind of that's like, I think the boat scenario or the whole thing is a perfect example of how the type of person he is. He's the type of person who won't like. He's like, you don't need rules, just do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so that's how his films are. And if you like, for example, his most famous film, I don't know what it's called once again, but it's like a Greek story or something like that. It's some story that was in a book that's been around for hundreds of years that he decided to make into a film. And it's, imagine basically a sort of a documentary. That's why his films are really good, because he has like those fake documentary films, and then he has actual films like this one. And he was saying that, in the movie, it's sort of like documentary, but like it's like he's in there. It's weird. It's a weird like way filmmaking style, but it's kind of documentary style in which he's kind of in there. He's in the action. It's just really good. You just need to watch one of his films, and they're just so good. Like, what else he made? Into the Inferno. That's what he did for Netflix recently. It came out last year, and he's been making movies since And this is what's so cool about him, is that a lot of filmmakers are inspired by him, because he was the first filmmaker to do. So in film, there's this thing called, I forgot what they're called, but it's like where directors will just talk about their films, right? Or they'll talk about film in general, and they'll just say their opinion about it. He was the first one to do it on screen. Make sense? The rest of them were all on paper, and if you want to read what a director had to say, they're on paper. He was the first one to do it on screen and do it on VHS. So a lot of directors learned filmmaking from him because they got these VHSs. You know what I mean? They learned it at home, and this is during the 90s or the late 80s when the whole filmmaking or the whole VHS thing blew up. So that's why he's a big inspiration to a lot of filmmakers who are filmmakers today. And he's just, I don't know, he's just a crazy. He's just awesome. makes a lot of good movies.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog. I'm not going to remember that. Let's see. What am I doing right now?
Oh, we can talk about the Mule.
Real quick. Have you ever taken caffeine pills?
No, I don't like coffee.
Oh, it's so you can skip the coffee.
Yeah.
What you call it? I bought some. They're a little more expensive than I thought they would be. And then the first day I took 2, I finished that pixel drawing thing.
What is it, like your new heroin?
I guess maybe. It still needs testing. But
Wait, really?
what?
You just like
I fucking powered through it.
You know what's interesting? It's because it's that's not an uncommon thing. I've told you about this before, and I don't know if we said it on a podcast, but a lot of people and a lot of writers will use cigarettes and coffee because they're stimulants, and they're able just to power through it, and they're just really good for stuff like that. And I was thinking about drinking coffee and start smoking cigarettes to see if it helps me just get into that like just work vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't smoke. Get like a pipe.
Don't smoke cigarettes.
Get a pipe tobacco pipe.
Why?
Because there's so much more crazy shit in cigarettes than there
That's
is in
what
life.
I know, but I smoke, okay? You know what I mean? Think about it.
You smoke one joint a day.
That's what I'm saying. If I smoke one cigarette a day, once every 2 weeks, it's not that bad. Or like once every month, or once every whenever I need it. You know what I mean? Say it does work. Because I wouldn't want to abuse this thing that if it does work.
Oh, so this wouldn't be like a daily thing.
No, it'd be like, I want to write today. That's all I want to do today.
Oh yeah, if it's just like a cigarette every like week or so, then it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I see and I understand.
But yeah, so a lot of writers, that's what they do. They smoke and they drink coffee because it works really well.
There's someone. I don't know why people park right there. You know when you come in from the base?
Yeah.
They park right there all the time, and they leave their fucking lights on.
Because I think they're just leaving the base and they just need to go on their phone, and this is the first exit, you know what I mean, the right turn. So they're like, okay, let me do it, and they actually, because you can't park there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you sure we can't park there, actually?
Yes, remember that one sign you showed me? It says no parking? And when we were laughing at it, we're like, why would there be no parking?
Oh, I thought it was a sign for the street sweeper.
No. In general, city imposed.
Huh.
Anyways, so let's talk about the Mule?
Sure.
So, go ahead.
Totally different premise than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be the typical Clint Eastwood, from what I know of Clint Eastwood, fucking badass dude that retired, and then something comes up. I thought it was going to be like that.
Something comes up.
Yeah. But no, this guy was just this really old fucking wholesome herbologist that just fucking, guess I traffic drugs now.
What do you have to say about it?
So, I'm going to spoil the shit out of this, by the way, for anyone listening.
Yeah. And this is The Mule, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Clint Eastwood. It was awesome. I just want to say that. I loved it. Everyone should go watch it. Keep going.
So at the end, they tell you after the fact, they don't show it, but they say that he killed 2 thugs. Or he killed 2 thugs over the police scanner. What bugs me is that they set him up as just this normal sort of scientist guy who got wrapped up in this shit. And then they just suddenly announce that he killed 2 armed thugs while he was unarmed.
When?
They have the scene where the guy is basically pleading for his life because he was seeing his dead wife, or he was mourning his dead wife, da 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 da. And then he said, no, kill him. And then he pulls out the gun, points it at him, cuts to black. Something else happens. He gets arrested. Oh, he's covered in fucking blood. He gets arrested. And then over the police scanner, they'd say... He was either over the police scanner or in the...
killed them?
Or in the court. Yeah, he killed those two.
Damn. He's tough.
They don't set it up for anything like that, so I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I thought he just got beat and then they told him to keep driving the package. You know what I mean?
No, he was... Because he wasn't, like, bruised. He was, like, covered in blood.
Yeah. Alright, so my opinion... So, I think... How do I say it? I really like the direction in film in which people are unleashing their creativity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But... The people in the 70s, they were making films about people in the 50s. Or, you know, they were making films about people in the past. And but mainly, they were making films about during their time. Does that make sense? Like, during the 70s, usually the films that came out were films about the 70s. Or, if they were about the past. But, you know, generally. I feel like, what I'm trying to say is that I feel like now, our films are more based in the future, in the past, but never today, 2017, 2018. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost exclusively like comics or comedies and romance.
So, but what I'm saying is that I really like this film because it's a really good film that I hope is remembered because it shows life as it is in 2017. You know what I mean? I really saw the South in 2017. I saw new people. I saw that because I think this is our generation is seeing a very significant portion or a significant time in history. Sorry, I can't word this. We're seeing a significantly important time in history in which the people who didn't have the internet or didn't have technology are going to disappear forever. Every single day. Think about it. The older people are dying. So one day they're just all going to be gone and we're going to be the older people. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So what I'm saying is that this film did a really good job of showing the people who were left over when technology just arrived. You know what I mean? Because he did that whole place that's all his life was that one town hall thing where he would dance and he would do the flowers.
Yeah, it's like a local bar or something.
Yeah, or whatever that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And kids in the future from us aren't going to know anything about that, you know what I mean? Because they don't do stuff like that anymore. Because now we have social media, you know what I mean? You don't need to physically go anywhere because you have it on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to know about social stuff about that or that people even do that. You know what I mean? Or that it existed today. You know what I mean? So that's right. I think this is... I like films like this because it shows life as it is today. And it shows life that's not going to be here in the future.
Yeah, I kind of get that.
Yeah? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Does it at least make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So that's why I like the film. And then... I love the whole premise. The whole premise of like, oh, I guess I'm dealing drugs now. Like, like what the heck? And it's like, oh wait, I'm making a shit ton of money. And like, remember they're like, unless you have a spare $25,000.
Yeah,
like you made $25,000 on one run.
God. The whole movie was wholesome. There was just like that one bit near the end where it got kind of intense. Where the mafia boss get killed and then they're trying to kill him. But other than that, the whole movie is wholesome. It's just about an old guy who found a way to make a bunch of money doing what he loves. It just happens to be illegal. And him like giving money to people who need it kind of shit.
Yeah, and also I think there's another thing in there. How do I say this? Like the whole thing with him being like an absent father.
Mm-hmm.
I think that whole like idea of like an absent father, or I don't even think people say that, but do you know the term bastard child?
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't say that anymore. You know, because it's not. People think that I don't know, but you know what I mean. So I think I don't know. I was trying to think about it last night. And I was thinking about what I want to say today. I didn't understand. I don't know if I could wrap around what they're trying to say with the whole father thing. You know what I mean? With like being a father who's not there, and then now he's a father that is there. You know what I mean?
What they were trying to say about it?
Or like what it meant in the story, what it meant in general. You know what I mean?
I guess maybe sort of a message of if you. It doesn't matter how you do it. If you put in the effort with your family, it's better than leaving them out to dry, like he was doing. He was just absent for everything. Because despite all the like drug traffic he's doing, him showing up for these family gatherings made his family relationship like a hell of a lot fucking stronger.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that if you look at it as like this man, he's not someone who wants to stay still. You know what I mean? Clearly, he doesn't want to stay with his family. All he wants to do is drive around, and you know what I mean. Why did this man change from someone who doesn't want to settle down to someone who does want to settle down, and why is that important? That's basically what I was thinking about. Yeah, I don't know either. That's all.
I don't feel like it had any sort of overarching thing. It was just sort of a character plotline.
No, because I feel like you don't think so. Because well my defense to that is that I just feel like the whole you weren't there, and they just kept talking about it. You know what I mean? How that he wasn't a good father and that he wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I that's why I think it is more significant than you think it is.
Well, that is like the plot of the movie, but it's not like a symbolic or.
You don't think it has any symbolic meaning?
Not like a big one, like the standard. If you put effort into your family will love you kind of shit.
But what drives a man to just change from not being a family man to being a family man? And what was his decision to change?
I think his decision came when he had nowhere to go, and he showed up to a family gathering and got fucking
scolded.
Yeah, because I prior to that, I don't think he'd probably seen these people for years and years.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 12 years.
So when he had nowhere to go and he showed up to this wedding and he got fucking yelled at by two people. Two people refused to come to the wedding. And then...
Oh, did you say written and directed by Clint Eastwood?
I have no idea.
Cause I was thinking about like the story, and I like as a filmmaker really little stuff like the. So I think I already told you the beat of love, or like where the bad guy has to be nice and then the nice guy has to be bad.
Wait, what?
The nice guy has to be bad a little bit, like when you're trying to make a good character, he has to show some type of bad. So when he does something good, it's really
some
good.
kind of like gray area and
and
alignments.
And also I like little stuff like where he interacted with him at the diner, and like where he's that close. You know what I mean? And there's just being able to go, because I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but Alfred Hitchcock, my favorite type of writing is, or not writing, but like storytelling is like one that can like push and pull the suspense. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's like when you do shit like that, you know what I mean? In the movie, you're like, holy shit, he's going in the diner with him. You know what I mean? You're literally, Alfred Hitchcock describes it as a rubber band. You're basically going like this. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like the story's getting fucking, you stretch it, and then like he's about to leave, and he's like, wait, and then he stretches it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I really like that about this.
What was it? I was watching one of those film essays, and I forget what movie they were talking about, where it was something crazy like it's Inglorious Bastards, where they just build tension for fucking like 5 minutes and then slowly release it.
Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah, the first scene with
Oh, the ice skating movie?
What?
Inglourious Bastards. Which one
it's
is
about this group of Americans and some French girl killing Nazis.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, that's Quentin Tarantino, though. He's a brilliant writer.
Yeah. But I forget the point.
You said he was able to build a bunch of tension and then slowly release it.
Oh yeah, the way he manipulates the tension through like vocal conversation until it just releases like that.
Yeah, I really like Quentin Tarantino. That's all I just really like, because like you can only be so brilliant. Like, I don't know how brilliant. Like, I have to say that like he made like, how do I say this? Like, he's so brilliant that he made a movie. The same movie was a western and a samurai film. You know what I mean? Like that's just crazy. And then he's made films like Reservoir Dogs and The Hateful Eight, in which they take place in one building, a single room. And I would want to do something like that. I just love the idea of that. Of them just trapped in a single room, and that's the whole story. He's done it twice, and they've been too successful.
From what I hear about people talking about Quentin Tarantino, I think of him as like the Gabe Newell of film, where he's just everyone's sweetheart.
I guess. Everyone does like him. He's just like that cartoony writer. Like, not cartoony isn't right. I always say cartoony and everyone is confused why I use that word. But like, that's the best way I could describe him. I feel like it's like cartoony. It's just not, it's just, I don't know.
It's kind of overzealous.
Yeah, I guess.
Everyone is, at least.
Yeah.
Quirky.
I don't know, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, yeah, he's one of my favorite filmmakers. Like, I don't know what else to say. There's so much shit that he does that I like. Anyways, what?
It's been getting fucking cold out at night.
Oh, yeah.
Last night, to be comfortable, I had to put...
Have you even cleaned your sheets yet?
I put that zip up one over, and then I put my second like pullover coat over it, and then I came in here and I wrapped that blanket around my legs and sat in here and smoked. And that's like required if I want to sit out here for a major amount of time.
We didn't finish talking about Mule. The Mule.
Yeah.
So what about it?
Let's see, what else was there?
Just your final thoughts or whatever you have to say on it.
I was very high during this, so I'm trying to remember the events.
Were you actually that high?
I think I was. Because I don't remember much of that day.
Really?
Like after the movie, really.
Hold on. I like how you're trying to talk for like 3 minutes and then you don't talk for like a minute and then you're like, and then you don't talk for like another minute.
That's because I'm trying to organize my fucking thoughts.
I know, but it's
here.
been so long. I've been just waiting for you to say something.
Remember my balance issues, because I want to bring that up later.
I'm not gonna remember that.
Should call it the Mule.
Just wrap up what you have to say on it.
It's a nice movie. Totally different premise than I thought it was when I walked in. It's very wholesome. It ends on a good note. Good movie. Yeah.
I'll rate it 4 plebs out of 5 plebs. My reasoning, perfect. Or I think it falls perfectly traditional, like American storytelling, like storyline. It didn't deviate from it. I think because he's just like an American. He's been around such like American films. That's probably why. I don't know, but I feel like it did nothing that was too avant-garde. I think its qualities were what we said earlier, that this tells the story of part of time period in which, you know what I mean, the past lived, that no one's gonna know. And I think it's important to make stuff that talks about what's happening now instead of, you know what I mean, avoiding what's being talked about now. So that's I think that's my major thing about why I liked it. Clint Eastwood, I think he can be a dying crippled, but yeah, I will still go watch him go shoot people and be a badass. He could be on his deathbed, and I still will go think he is a badass.
How many movies does he do where he's not, like, a badass?
I don't know. They're always... No. I've always seen him as a badass.
Because, like, this is the only movie I've seen
No, I think he's done a lot of serious stuff, but I think he's only known for being that badass, you know what I mean?
Well, he does, like, serious stuff, but he's always, like, a badass, like, ex-war veteran or something like that. And he's always racist in some degree.
Oh, yeah! I think that's another important thing, and I think that's the part I saw, and I'm like, oh,
it's
like
a different generation.
Yeah, like that's a different generation of people. The kids today are not gonna know about those generation of people because they're gonna be dead. You know what I mean? And that's when everything clicked. You know, I'm like, oh, because he made that racist remark. And I'm like, oh, he is racist. I'm thinking about, remember when he was talking to Mexicans and stuff like that?
Yeah, he's kind of racist.
No, he is.
Well, he's not racist in, like, a mean way. He's racist in an ignorant way.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's people, kids like that won't know about that in the future. So I just thought that was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, in conclusion, 4 out of 5. 8 out of 10. I don't know what you want to take here or leave it. Final thoughts? What? Wrap up?
So, what happened with the garage?
What about it?
Do you remember, he was showing him how to text, and, he typed in, like, an address. He's like, go to this address. And then he drives, and he goes to that address, and they're like, why the fuck are you here? We weren't supposed to get a shipment. And then the guy comes in, yells at him, just unpack it, kind of shit.
Well, because I think that... are you asking, like, why did he get mad? Or why did he put it in the phone?
Mad, but, like, why they put it in there.
Oh, because I think they didn't know. All those thugs know is that they're just supposed to go to this address.
No, like, the director. Like, why did the director put that in? Because it doesn't really do anything.
Oh, because, okay, well, what I think is that One, because I think the thing about this film is it's based in truth, and I think that's, you know what I mean. And in which a scenario in which this guy would get caught is because he's an old guy who doesn't know anything about GPS. You know what I mean? So I think either that the reality of it, because this is based on a true story. I don't know if you knew that. It's based on a true story. So either in real life that's what happened, is this old guy, he accidentally went there and kind of just fucked up the whole situation, or that Clint Eastwood, while directing it, because Clint, think about it, he directed it and starred in it, he felt that that's what needed to happen to drive the story forward.
Well, my thing is it didn't really do anything. It just kind of asked a question and then left it hanging.
No, because what do you mean?
Because why did the guy give him that address?
That's what
they kind of hint at the fact that it must have been, or he was doing something kind of malicious. They're hinting at that.
No, I got the impression. Oh, I'm sorry.
They never pay off with that. He just gets sent to the wrong garage. Everyone gets mad, and then he goes and does something else.
Yeah.
They don't say why he got sent to the garage. It just kind of happens. And I guess
once again, I think because they're all in on it, they all know that that's where the location is. So I think he just, that guy, because they were just friends, I think he, in the context how he wanted me to perceive it, I think that's how he wanted us to perceive it, was that they were just friends. He was just giving him the address because he has this phone with GPS. Because this is the phone that he's supposed to keep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he has his phone with GPS. He just gave him the address because he assumed we've worked with him before. He's my friend, you know what I mean? They're friendly with him. Here's the address, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't got anything else to say?
No.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, we've hit the hour mark. You know what that means? Light up time. Before we light this and stop talking, I think it's very important to have intellectual diversity. I think I just wanted to talk about this on the podcast, so I'm just saying it out there. It's very important to have intellectual diversity because that leads to progress. You know what I mean? Shunning someone for what they say and not what they do is not okay. With that being said, let's light this. Would
you say that's fascist? To shun someone for believing something different?
Yeah, it is. Okay. It's based in fascist thought, but it's not inherently fascist.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I understand.
Like, you can't just call someone a fascist, but that's what fascists do think.
Yeah, it's in the realm of what a fascist would say in that situation.
Anyways, let's light this up.
What? You can go ahead.
It's on. Do you have your lighter? Yeah. I was watching this video, right? So this girl, she's from a conservative family, I assume, because she talked about how she had to come out to her conservative family. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sorry. And she, during that video, she goes to UC Berkeley, and UC Berkeley is infamous fucking left-wing school, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they had literally a picture of fucking a picture of Stalin. Or no, Lenin. Claiming that he brought a socialist revolution.
You don't like Lenin?
Huh?
You don't like Lenin?
Lenin still was the cause of like millions of people murdered.
What I remember being told was Lenin was an incredibly beloved leader that started the Communist Party, and when he died, they kept his body in a museum so people could come and mourn for months after.
Well, yeah, because people supported the Communist Party. What do you mean?
He was a good leader too, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't a fucking genocidal maniac like Stalin.
Okay, well...
And then Stalin came along and put in all these fucking, you talk against me, you die kind of shit.
But that's inherently what he did. You know that, right? He imposed rules in which if you said anything against him, you would be dead. He created communism, you know what I mean? Or he didn't create communism, he imposed communism.
He did communism with a mix of capitalistic sort of shit to keep people from just, fuck it, I'll get paid, I'll get a job no matter what.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that Hitler was a National Socialist. If Hitler died, oh, damn, that was a fucking huge hit. If Hitler died, or I don't know, if Hitler didn't kill people, and then the person, you know what I mean? He was still part of a bad party that did push bad ideologies. That was the advocate for millions of people dead.
I don't think there's bad ideologies. I think there's abused ideologies. Because if everyone's happy and it doesn't collapse in on itself, then that's not a bad party. That's a party that works for that society.
I guess, but I don't agree with that. That's what socialists think, and I don't believe that.
Well, if it's
that, hold on. All I'm saying is that socialists, anything that has to do with socialism, has led to the death of millions. Capitalism has killed none. No one has had to fight for capitalism, but because of socialism, millions of people have been dead. And that's why I can't have any defense for socialism.
Well, that's in practice. I think it's too easy to become a dictator in these sort of systems.
Exactly.
And that's why it doesn't work in practice.
No, it's not in practice. This is in...
But if there was a government that's totally socialist, everyone's happy, and they're profitable, then...
That's what Lenin was.
Yeah, so I have no problem with Lenin's reign.
Yeah, but Lenin was in support of killing people who oppose their ideologies. How could you want that instead of intellectual diversity?
Are you sure it started with him?
What do you mean? That's what communism inside the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah, but he wasn't following it to a T. He had capitalistic shit slotted in.
But still,
then when Stalin came, he threw out everything and just made it pure communism.
He was what I'm just trying to say is that he was someone who used communism. That there is no way of doing communism without oppressing people, without some type of inherent oppression of people.
Well, people were happy.
All the Nazis were happy, but the Jews weren't.
Well, that's not really...
That's what I'm saying.
Germany wasn't half Nazi, half Jews. It was... The Nazis really agreed. There were people in the middle that kind of rolled with it because things are good. And then there's Jews, gypsies, and fucking that kind of shit. I
don't know. All I'm saying is you should probably go find out about fascism and communism more before we talk about those. Yeah, I should probably
What were we originally talking about?
Oh, just intellectual diversity, and you should never shun someone for what they say, only for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
I just want to get that out there because I don't think that's not generally blatantly enough said. That's apparently what people need is blatancy.
I see.
Oh my god, you missed it. It went out far, and it went out like this far. It went all back.
Oh yeah. So I think I've identified one of the major flaws in my creative process. I'll make something small that's good in my eyes. Like, this is how I wanted it to look, kind of shit. And then I'll do a couple more of those, and then I'll just try to fucking jump to a whole, like, scene where I have to paint everything in the background, I have to paint them, and I have to make it all line up, and it's almost out.
Yeah, I didn't have a grinder.
What would I say? There's an ash on your shirt. Or, amber. Amber. Car. Oh, yeah, so I think I just need to start working on things in a more segmented out sort of way. So maybe one day I'll make a building, and the next day I'll make another building.
Oh wait,
And then when once I have like a certain amount of them, I slot them all together in one scene and then paint them together, kind of shit.
Or yeah, I think that's what people don't understand about a lot of the creative process, and I think that was my kind of thing, is that I was able to accept that early, is that shit doesn't come quickly. And and that was the whole point of like Sober October or first November, was to help practice my ability to every single day to work a little, because that's how you have to work artistically. Nothing is done in one section, and if you think that, that's like a ignorant way of thinking. You do art is done systematically and periodically over time with well thought out, you know what I mean? That's how art should be done.
Well, I think that's really dependent on the like form of art. Because like painters will fucking. There's a lot of people that just bam that shit out in one session.
Art in which art that's trying to express a message. You know what I mean? Like a person who just does little face drawings, you know what I mean, at the park, isn't someone I'm necessarily talking about. I'm talking about the artist who wants to create to express a message.
Well, I'm talking like, I don't know. What did that branch off from? Oh yeah. So I think I've just been giving myself too big of projects to jump to, because it just becomes daunting to look at what I have done and then look at what I need to do.
Yeah, and I understand that, and that's why you need to start working on stuff systematically and over time, periodically.
There's something weird about this joint. It feels like there's like a hole in it, but it's smoking fine.
I think it was just the filter that I rolled. I think it was just godlike.
I don't like it.
Fuck you. Anyways.
I'm used to the other, to how it normally is, so I have to ration based on how much I've sucked instead of how it feels coming out of the thing.
Anyways, I was did I tell you about trauma bonding?
But what?
Trauma bonding?
No.
It's kind of going out. I think I want to light it. Unless you want to puff it really hard. So kind of like what's the other bonding called at birth?
Imprinting?
Yeah, imprinting. So I don't. Once again, the progress in Germany during World War II was insane. They did a lot of human testing, right? Because they want to learn about mind control. And what they found out is actually kind of brilliant. Let me see what this. All right, they discovered something called trauma bonding. Trauma bonding is in which they can traumatically take a couple more hits. They can traumatically affect a child before the age of 3. They can effectively get it to bond to the person and get them to be like do anything. Not do anything, but like sort of like the soldier that'll do anything for you.
What would do this?
Doing something traumatic to the person before the age of 3. Anytime after the age of 3, it wouldn't work. So you would have to like
traumatic,
like rape them, or like kill a bunny in front of them, or kill a person in front of them, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
And how would they use that for making like soldiers? So if you break them before the age of 3, something will happen. What is this something?
They'll do whatever you say.
Like brainwash kind of thing?
Yeah, trauma bonding. Bonded through trauma.
Damn. Well, fuck. How
effective is it or whatever?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. All I know is that they just studied this stuff during World War II, the Germans.
Huh. They like burned a fuck ton of paperwork, didn't they?
Yeah.
Fuck me. Only a Nazi would be prick enough to do all that shit to learn all this fucking... They do all this horrible shit to learn all this stuff, and then they burn it before anyone else can see it.
After World War II, America hired a bunch of Germans. Like, I'm pretty sure the only reason why we went to the moon was because of the Germans.
Really?
And, the only reason why we have a stealth bomber is because of them.
Well, shit.
Like, there's how do I say this? There's documents in which show there's this guy who has clearly murdered millions of people. Right?
Mm.
And then there's documents in which he's in America working for the U.S. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that there's a lot of documents that cover up these people. I don't know if they said it's 3,000 or 13,000 people that they hired from Germany who are Nazis, who supported the Nazi party. You know what I mean? And they, yeah. And that's, so I think they told him a lot of stuff. I feel nice.
Same.
Dog, I'm fucking hungry. Gonna wrap up this podcast. Because we had to, after we hit the hour mark, I don't really care what time we end. We're at hour 20, so.
Let me see if I have
anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, pixel art's working out so well that I think I can move forward with some of my projects now that I have an art form that I'm varied enough in to do what I need. Because I've done like backgrounds, characters, like a whole scene, so I know that I can do that for anything now. Maybe not like lush, like landscape fields kind of shit, but like cityscapes I can do, and that's where I want my setting to be.
Have you ever just thought smoothing it out?
I could. Maybe.
Because that's essentially, you're essentially drawing, you know that, right? And there's no other difference than just drawing it. All you do is make it from square to round, right?
Well, so if you go up a resolution, it either scales directly so it still looks like a pixel, it's 1 pixel, or it blurs everything together. So it'd fucking ruin everything about the landscape. For a character, you might be able to get away with it, but to like scale it up and do it for a landscape would be fucking not effective. So. Ooh, I got that crazy fucking sunset background just randomly. Did you see that picture I sent you?
I don't know what.
Discord. It was the next pixel thing I was working on.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Did you see the sunset part in the background?
I don't remember. It's not very helpful. Yeah.
What you got? Everything's blurry in these pictures because of Dayz, but that thing was just some random setting that a gradient tool hand had, and I went like this, and it created this big like almost paintbrush kind of thing where it starts here and then it streaks in a circle under itself. And I got that, and then I just went over it with a smudge tool, and it looks like that.
And you use it for a background?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear. So yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, Dayz. I played it last night. It runs smooth. It fucked up my computer though.
What do you mean?
So, I've never had it do this, but the game ran smooth, but my RAM was at like 96% until after I fucking like got rid of everything.
So? Stop.
So it fucked up everything.
I can send you a thing that'll give you better FPS. I really want to play. Should I ask my dad that's what I want for Christmas and see if he'll split it? So tell him I'll pay for half.
Oh,
don't want a computer. Because then I'm just going to be a fucking loser gamer.
Well, you video edit.
No, the only reason I'm going to buy myself a computer is if we can get an office. Like, that's the only way I could justify it.
Oh yeah, but so Daisy, it runs fine now. Like, it was all smooth. The combat's a little clunky, but I can get behind it. But the UI is fucking horrible.
What?
It looks nice, but in practice, it's horrible.
Why?
So, you remember how it used to be? You'd like, I want to make a torch. I have a stick and rags.
Yeah.
You drag the rags onto it.
Yeah.
And it comes up with a thing that says combine or swap.
Yeah.
You click combine, and you get a torch.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to put the stick in your hand.
And then drag it, and it says combine. That's it.
No. Oh, wait, no.
No, that's it. I'm telling you, that's all.
I'm talking about something else.
Okay, fine.
So, fire.
Okay.
You have to combine. You have to put the sticks
You
in
don't
your
even know
hand.
what the fuck you're talking about.
Kind of high. So you put the sticks in your hand. You take a rag. You drag it on, and then it goes out of the thing, and then you have to click and hold to either create a torch or create a fireplace.
Yeah.
If you just make a torch, and then you put the torch in your hand, and you try to light it with the matchbox, it will not work. You have to make a fire, light it with the matches, then use the fire to light the torch.
No, that's what a lot of people said, is that they reverted a lot of like simple mechanics that were already in the game. I'm trying to think of something that was in the game that they stupidly removed. I forgot, but it's something. It was simple that they had no reason to remove. Like, had no issue. It didn't like affect the game. It just, I forgot what it was. But yeah, they did that with a couple of things. So okay, yes, I can see that.
Yeah, it's clunky as hell.
So you don't like it?
I logged on and it was night out.
Oh, and dude, they locked the fucking.
I tried to turn. I was looking for the gamma. I'm like, where the fuck is it?
They locked it. I was so fucking happy, because all the videos I watched, everyone would talk shit on people who put up the thing. And now it's fair game. No matter what, everyone has to have. You could try. I think there's a brightness setting somewhere. But it's fair game everywhere.
You should call it. If you turn up brightness, you know what it does?
What?
It puts a white, like, fucking circle just around your screen.
Yeah. I thought so. Yeah.
It doesn't, like, blend in at all.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I wanted Gamma gone, and I'm happy it's gone, because now night shit is cool. But it's like, the torches last like 2 minutes, and then you have to go through all this shit.
Go get glow sticks.
The glow sticks suck.
No, they last forever.
No, they last forever, but they don't have any like view. I look like I feel like I'm walking through
pitch black.
You know, in Assassin's Creed where they have
I never played the game, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Not even Assassin's Creed. Have you ever just like played a game where they have like the dark area?
Yeah, and you have the one torch that only shows it around you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
you can't see anything.
2 feet in front of you, 2 feet behind you, 2 feet to the left and right you can see.
Yeah.
That's what it's like with the glow stick on, except now it's blue light.
Yeah. But it's better, right? You like it?
I like that they changed it, but I wish that they made it so...
Do you think if they released... This is the first game release. This was. What do you think that would be good?
Yeah. But... there's just one change I wanted to make. I wanted to make it either... light sources, you can find them easier. Or torches should last a lot fucking longer. Or... allow me to light the torch with my matchstick, so I don't have to every 2 minutes stop, cut a tree down, make a fire, make a torch, light the torch on fire, and then walk for another 2 minutes before I have to do it again.
Yeah, I just love the game though. Apparently the rewards, it hits really hard, to be careful. The reward system's supposed to be really fucking good. Hit it harder.
Oh my god!
Are you okay? You're actually... Okay, so I have a vape pen with like a THC in it, and this strain or whatever really hurts your throat. And I told him like a little too late after he held it, like he took too big of a hit, and he just coughed really hard. You okay?
Yeah.
Talk to them.
I am alright.
Why are you leaning in? Just talk.
I am alright. My throat fucking hurts.
Anyways, Daisy. Yeah, so you can have a generator in every... Huh?
I saw one.
Yeah, and you have to put water in it and stuff like that. You need to put gas for, yeah, and you need to put a spark plug. And, what?
I like how intricate it's getting. I like to feel like I'm learning how to build a car when I do that kind of shit.
Yeah, I don't, it's not necessarily that I like to feel like I'm building a car. I like to feel like it's rewarded. That if you go through this, you get this. So if the only thing is that I think they should make cars more bulletproof. You know what I mean?
Do they have like Urals now? Again?
Huh?
Do they have like Urals again?
What else?
Big trucks?
Yeah.
Canopy is over the tip back?
I think so. I don't think they have the canopy, but they can fit a bunch of people in the back.
Okay. So I remember those were the weapon haulers. Holy shit.
Why?
You could put like 200 guns in the back.
Oh yeah, you can fit a lot of storage.
So you just you'd get a bunch of Urals and you'd store all your shit in the back, and then if something's happening, you get in the Ural and you fucking dip.
That's what I was thinking, is that we get on a super populated server and just start getting our camp going. But I can't play.
Yeah, I don't want to be on a super popular server.
Why not?
I want to be on like a medium server and then maybe jump over to high population.
I like jumping over. I like just playing. I want to have like a base inside there that I have to protect.
Like, I want it to feel like. I like it to feel like other people is still kind of rare. Like, it's not something that you're expecting to happen, but it happens semi-regularly.
That's like a full pop.
Huh?
That's like a full pop.
Full pop servers, it's like you walk into a town, there's going to be one person. You know there's going to be at least one person. Unless it's like northeast.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Huh?
You don't want that?
Nah.
I was watching this guy. What did he do? I don't know. Daisy videos are so fun to watch. All those Daisy people who made those cool videos back when Daisy was like popular.
Yeah.
They all like stopped uploading 2 years ago.
Yeah. I remember noticing that on, I think it was Frankie on PC.
You just stopped uploading them?
Yeah. Him and, like, Rhino Crunch, I think Psy Syndicate, they just all fucking stopped.
You feeling better?
Yeah.
Do you feel high?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm in a good mood. I'm not like intoxicated yet.
I mean, did you feel it from the 110 hit?
There was that brief period while I was coughing where I was feeling some hardcore shit.
Simulations and shit.
I was like, fucking seeing paralactics or whatever the fuck they're called. But what was the question?
Said you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
No, I didn't say that. I forgot what I said.
I think he said, "Are you high?" From the pen.
Oh yeah.
Feeling good. I'm feeling monster good.
Can we sign off so we can get food? Alright. You got anything to wrap up?
I say do shit while you're young. And don't die. Dying's bad.
Yeah, anyways. We're heading out, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mightily Fatigued with Adam and Kalub. You can find us on social media. Adam, what's your social medias?
I don't want people going to my fucking social media.
Alright.
Not yet, at least.
My social media is Kalub Krebs. Pretty much fucking everything. That's pretty. Go fucking follow me. Love yourself. Love the people around you. What else did we say?
I don't fucking
No. Not like you fucking knew it all. Love yourself. Oh yeah, we are bettering ourselves through the podcast. Therefore, bettering you. Therefore, you must better yourself.